For this week's episode of Champion Spotlight, we're going to take a look at TITUS BLACKPLUME. Hey guys, finally he sleeps here. I think I called him TITUS BLACKPLUME. It's not really correct. It's TITUS BLACKPLUME. BLACKPLUME. Okay, he is over here on the left. We're going to see some of these hits that he can kind of lay down here. We've got Weaken on. This is Clan Boss. The bosses, that's where TITUS shines. And it is 100% all about his shield, how large it is. And the bigger his shield is, the bigger his hits go. That means that his hits are going to be directly related to everybody else in the team, because you need a few champions in there that can build a large shield for him to work with. If he's building his own shield, it takes a bit of time. If we've got somebody in there like Wixwell who can build the shield and grow the shield, then we can get some massive numbers out of this. I think this is Clan Boss Brutal. I think this is Brutal. It's on Spirit Affinity, which affinity doesn't really matter for TITUS. He's a Void champion. But as you can see, he's got a maxed out shield. We've been in this now for 45 minutes. Turn count of 122 on the boss. And he's laying down 20 million point hits. TITUS is. And that's without Weaken on the Clan Boss. We'll watch this and see if I can't get Weaken to lay down from the Mad Hatter, which is in this team, and see if we can't get a higher hit than 20 mil. We do need 1500. Well, we got time. We'll see one that comes in there. So the way you set him up and build him is speed is not as important as anything else, because you kind of want him growing his shield, and then you need him fully booked so that we can cycle back around. His A2 is the turn that the damage comes from. We'll take a look at his kit here in a second once we see if we can get a weakened A2 hit out of him. There it is. Weaken is on. Still 18 mil. Didn't really change the numbers at all. So this is a 1 billion point turn. Let's kill it. And we'll run a quick battle on it just to see exactly what it is. But you need a couple of champions to work with him. You need somebody that's going to grow the shields, and you most likely need a couple of champions to increase the duration of their buffs, because that's the mechanic that works with actually growing the shields. Okay, so this is Brutal. This is the team that I was working with. This one right here. We'll take a look at this, just exactly how it is built. Wixwell is your champion that is going to actually grow the shield in this scenario. And we have his Codex A3 starting out, just throws down 3 buffs. I've got that left on just to keep him in play for the higher levels of Clan Boss. For this one, I can probably just do that once and turn it off. That way I can grow the shield faster. Okay, so the growing the shield here, A2, is then increases the value of all shields on all allies. The value of each shield is increased proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. So the more buffs they have, up to 10, that is increasing the shield even larger. So we need a lot of buffs for Wixwell to expand. Demi here is laying down. She's going to open with block damage and continuous heal. Continuous heal is a buff that can be expanded. And then her A2 is a buff extender. This increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, then decreases the duration of all ally debuffs by 1 turn. So the increase of the duration of ally buffs is what you're worried about, because that's what's going to expand things. Lady Mikaj, same thing here. Increases the duration of all enemy debuffs. and all ally buffs for 1 turn. And then Mad Hatter, same thing. Where is it? Joining the attack. No, it's his A3. He increases the duration of all buffs on all allies for 1 turn and decreases the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. So we've got 3 buff extenders, Titus, and then a shield growth on here. And let's just see what kind of numbers we can throw down on a quick battle. We know it'll run over 1 billion points here for Brutal, 1.12. But we can see all of that damage is coming out of Titus, who has 1.05 billion points coming out of him. So let's take a look at how he is built. He does have a really cool look to him. That's my favorite part of this. He has this split head that you can see right down the middle. It's got a face on one side. It's a change in material on the helmet. I love that look. Those iridescent, glowing, I don't even know what they are, orbs around his sash. Very fancy. It's got the same split head on the shield. Just visually, he's a really cool champion. But let's take a look at the kit first. A1, 40% chance of placing block active skills. Effect cannot be resisted if the champion is under a shield. Whenever an ally counterattacks, teams up with the allies to attack or instantly activates a skill. 40% chance to block active skills. Damage based on defense. Now his A2 we're going to skip because that's the big one. A3 normally will get shut off. If you're using him for bosses, this one will normally get shut off because it's an ally protection. It does bring some buffs here, but the ally protection is going to work against you. So I really don't have any scenario where his A3 is turned on. His passive, each time an enemy hits an ally, that ally's next attack will deal 10% more damage for each hit they take. Damage increase resets after that ally deals damage. That's awesome, but again, usually this is going to be your biggest damage dealer. So his A2 is the most important skill that he has. This is what everything is built around. It attacks 1 enemy, so it's perfect for champions. This attack is always critical if this champion is under a shield buff. He's going to have a shield on the entire time. That's the only way he works. This attack also gains a damage boost equal to the percentage difference between this champion's max HP and the value of any shield buffs on them. That sentence is very important, and I think a lot of people are skipping over it. They don't understand exactly what it's saying, so we'll come back to it. This A2 also removes all debuffs from all allies if the target is killed. If the target survives, places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn instead. Now, if we're doing bosses, that's all we're getting. We're just getting a provoke debuff out of it because we're not killing any of the bosses. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under a shield buff. Provoke's not really helping you in any way on any of the bosses. So this whole section right here doesn't really have anything to do with what he's going to be used for the most part. But we're going to come back to that sentence before now that we've seen it. Damage is based on defense and HP, but that's not really what it is. Usually people come into these and they'll look at it and say, okay, damage based on defense. So we'll build a champion with a lot of defense, or damage based on HP. We'll build it with a lot of HP. But that's not how this is. It is built on defense. So the higher your defense, the more damage he is. HP is actually detrimental. It's a very weird champion to build, but it makes him so easy at the same time. Because you have so much defense stacked up on him, and he always has to run with the shield, you don't need much HP at all to keep him alive, because the shield is going to take all of the hits, and you want that shield as large as you can. HP actually works against you. So you get that damage boost. It is equal to the percentage difference between this champion's max HP and the value of the shield buffs on them. So the larger your shield and the lower your HP, that's the difference. That's where you get it. So you want to build this guy with massive defense numbers and very low HP numbers. So if we'll look here, my total stats, we've got 5,700 defense, which could go a little bit higher, but his HP is at 40,000. That's actually a lot more HP than I'd like to have on him. Lower HP, always better for better numbers. What do we have? We have a defense ring, crit damage. Oh, I've got a lot of resistance on him. That's another thing. The resistance, depending upon which boss you're building him for, if you're building, let's say, a Chimera team, if you want something for like Ultra Nightmare Chimera, you need like 425 or higher resistance. So I've got a massive amount of resistance here on him just because of that. His resistance numbers, where do I have him? 374 for resistance right now, plus the bonus. If you've got area bonuses set up for different resistance and different things, that will keep, let's say in something like Chimera where they can steal your shield, you need the resistance to keep the shield on Titus, depending upon what level your team is built for. You're gonna get away with a lot of crit damage because, again, you don't need any crit rate. I only have, what, 31 crit rate on him? Where is this crit rate? 31 crit rate, 292 crit damage. And again, this is specifically built for a Chimera team. I could push the numbers even higher to get it out of there. The main gear set that most people are using for him is Merciless, with at least 6 pieces, so that you can get the 35% ignore defense. A lot of ignore defense, which is important. We're building a lot more champions around the ignore defense component. This also gives you at 4 pieces a 30% chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by 1 turn when dealing damage. And again, it's all about getting that A2 back around to hit as many times as you possibly can. And we're seeing some massive numbers coming out of TITUS BLACKPLUME in not only Clan Boss, but in HYDRA and in Chimera as well. Those are the basic components to putting him together. This has been a fun champion to work with for the last couple of weeks. I can't wait to see how much more we can do with him. But again, it's more of a synergy between him and the other champions. So there's a lot of different people that you can work with. It just depends on who you have. There's we've got a handful of buff extenders, but there's basically 3 champions that really work well with the shields, and it's Wixwell, Emic, and Brogni. So watching people build champions around that is a lot of fun. All right, that's it. That is TITUS BLACKPLUME. Hope this information helped. If it did, make sure you subscribe here on the channel so you never miss when any of these champion spotlight videos go live. I'm Finally He Sleeps. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.